Hi, my name is Damien Ficca, and I'm an equine education instructor. I'm also a horse trainer, and I'm a therapeutic farrier. And I've been doing this for many years. I went to school for it, and have taught in many different universities, and worked many ranches throughout the West, especially Northern California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana. We hope to bring a very old tradition of training and teaching horsemanship, and that is the Spanish California Nevada tradition. It really goes back to the age-old training methods of the Romans and the Greeks. So it goes back maybe 2,000 years, and it has a very rich history. And it's very much not just a way to make a living or a way to train horses, but it's also a way to live. It's not real popular anymore because it takes a lot of time. The worst thing in the world, I've seen people do it. They're in a rush and they throw that blanket on and then they get the saddle on and everything's cockeyed. And it really affects how well the horse rides, and it affects how well the horse moves. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of consistency, and sometimes today people want instant horses. And that just doesn't work with horses. The horse's personality, the whole genre of the horse is not fast. I think that's the nicest thing about the Spanish, California, Nevada tradition, is that it always has the attitude that your horse constantly learns his whole life, and so do we. We're constantly learning. Sometimes our society makes us think that if you achieve a certain level that you don't have to learn anymore, or there's nothing else to know, and that's certainly wrong with horses. Everything is slow and quiet and responsive and repetitive. That's what keeps a horse alive in the wild, is to be able to constantly reinterpret their environment. The horse, horses, their whole body is like an antenna, and they have a sense of feeling all around their body, even behind them. So if the horse is moving, you can just put your arm out and turn that horse, and it's because of that spatial presence and feeling that presence. The horse has that really good ability to do that. But they do that in a slow way, and we really frustrate that when we try to make horses work on our schedule instead of their schedule. So that's what I try to give to my students. I try to pass on very much what I was taught, and I try to be very true to that. Even in the way I dress and the way I work is very reflective of that tradition.
Well, I think he's a real good teacher because he breaks things down real simple and slow, so he doesn't throw too much stuff at you. And he allows you to actually do the physical work, so he's not doing it for you, and then you make mistakes, but he'll correct you along the way. So you get hands-on experience along with just the book smarts of it also, but he allows you to make the mistakes so you can learn yourself. He cares so much about the horses and the students. He really wants everybody to learn. So it's easy to learn from him and to, interact with him. And it's more like a friendship, but still he's the teacher.
Well, we have a variety of students. We have students that are going to be right out of high school. So Michaela is one of our high school students. She just started the program with us. She's also taking one of the lecture classes during the week on Monday and Wednesday. The digestive system.
I'm Michaela, and the favorite part of my program would be ground driving and training, and definitely going and seeing all the places and getting opportunities with people, and getting to work with horses a lot more. There's a lot of things people don't think about when you work with horses, and Damien just kind of reminds you. So it's been a big reminder, and I've learned a lot about how horses can get sick very easily.
Or we have people that want to have a second career, and so they take our program. We have people that just will individually take a class for their own enrichment.
I graduated in 2007. I went through the entire program, just pretty much, it was a 2.5-year program, and I took one class and I just loved it, so I continued the whole entire program.
Definitely this is a program that can put somebody to work.
I have my own personal practice, training horses, and so I'm a mobile horse trainer. I go to different people's barns, different houses. Also, I do overall horse management, like how to house the horse, how to feed the horse. So there's nutrition and just, how to exercise the horse correctly. So really the program, it's not just about horse training. There's so many more pieces of it that, you need to understand when you own a horse or when you're riding a horse.
I look at all the students that have graduated in the last 12 years or so, and I'd say about 90% of them are all involved in the equine industry to one degree or another, whether full-time or part-time. So it definitely has an ability to give people a career. It definitely has an ability to give people a direction in their life, and perhaps to work with something that they not only like and love, but also it's pretty nice when you can do that as part of your career too. When they graduate, I've had students that have worked for pharmaceutical companies. I have students that work for vets. I have students that will work for other ranches and train horses or do riding lessons. I've had students that have gone on to farrier school. I guess it just depends on where somebody sees themselves.
I want to be a barn manager and start kind of a training program with horses. And this was a big help because I would always be lost with how to train a horse with a lot of things, and Damien helps a lot with it.
Even though our economy has been affected in all areas, the equine economy is still a good economy. It's still a good economy to get a job in. But I guess one of the things I truly appreciate is just being able to teach people, to pass on what was taught to me, to see how it makes my students, they get so enthused and they get so happy when they're learning something, when the light bulb goes on. It's like a Christmas tree. And so I guess I have to say that that's the very favorite thing. So that we can walk into the horse's space, but we don't allow the horse into our space until we invite it. And there again, part of that is discipline. Part of that is to keep us safe. And we have to remember too, as much as we have affection for these animals, this animal is 1,000 pounds, and you can get hurt. So the horse needs to know your space, my space. He did it.
Well, that's amazing.
A little different.
Little different.
I had this one particular student that just could not lunge a horse to the right in the round pen, because all part of it is all body language. Where your body is reflects on where the horse's body is going to be, because horses are very much affected by spatial pressure. And so this particular student was working so hard at trying to lunge this horse to the right, and she'd either be too far behind the horse or too far in front of the horse. And so finally, when one day she actually got this horse to lunge to the right, and she finally could keep herself in the right spot, and she was absolutely elated. You thought someone gave her $1 million. And then I just actually had another experience this last Sunday. We actually took an owner and put her on her horse for the first time. And 2 years ago, when they bought this horse, basically, honestly, this horse would kill everybody next to it. So the first year, we just tried to let this horse know that it didn't have to be afraid. It didn't have to hurt us. It sometimes would run them out of the round pen. And I remember saying, "What are you doing? You can't let that happen." And now we put her on her horse for the first time. And I thought she was going to cry. I've always thought the horses look at things in two ways, things that are good for me and things that are bad for me. And so I want that horse to see everything I do with it as good. A lot of people try to show leadership and dominance over a horse by being real physical with them, or sometimes by being really harsh with them, and it doesn't work. All it does is make the horse afraid, but it doesn't make it trustworthy.
Right.
And we're really interested much more in making that horse trustworthy for us. If a horse trusts you, they'll do anything for you. That's the kind of relationship we're looking for, and that's the kind of relationship I try to encourage with my clients and their horses, and then with my students and their training and teaching. We wanted to provide an alternative education program to the community, and that's still what I'm looking for. And we have served, even though we've been up in Westminster and in Jefferson County, we have served Arapahoe and Douglas County. I've had many students from there. I've had students come to school from Castle Rock. So, what I'm hoping is perhaps we can serve those counties a little better because it will be a little closer. Because of Arapahoe Community College openness to continuing education and professional development. I think because of that, I see our program really partnering with several other departments in the college. We certainly know that using horses in a therapeutic way is a very, very important part of healing today. Especially the last 10 years, we've seen how important that is.